good, everybody? Welcome to a very special Kicking It with Tom episode of The Early Edge, powered as always by SportsLine. I am the coach, and we tell you all the time, with all the different sports that are going on, you got to turn on those notifications because you never know when extra content is going to come in on your feed, on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever it is. Now, as you know, all the major sports, hockey, baseball, even a little football going on right now, and basketball, they're going strong. But here at CBS, at SportsLine, we have 5 major sports. Champions League, Europa, soccer, that's a major sport to us. And you can see every single match on CBS All Access, which is changing now to Paramount Plus. But you can still see all the matches, the highlights, the analysis. Just like on CBS All Access, we just changed the name. So let's bring in our guy right now. He is the best soccer mind we have at SportsLine. He is Tom, take the bass out of your voice, Fornelli. Tommy, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm great. This is one of the best times of the year, Coach. We've got daytime sports pretty much all week long between the NCAA conference tournaments, the Champions League. It's truly a wonderful time to be a degenerate in the afternoon.
Oh, I love the D word. Thank you for bringing everybody in to this world. Now, I know you've been very busy with college hoops, but this is all about Champions League. And last week, we were 3-1, or I should say you were 3-1, and a lot of people cashed the tickets. I would love another 3-1 weekend. I'd take 4-0, but 3-0, we'd be happy with what? We'd be happy with that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I'll be okay with 3-1, but yeah, we're shooting for 4-0.
We'll be all right. All right, let's jump right into it. We got 2 games on Tuesday. The first one, 3 Eastern. And again, all these games are on Paramount Plus. This is Dortmund taking on Sevilla. Now, in the aggregate, Dortmund leads 3-2. You know the drill, Tommy. Give it to me.
Yeah, I'm happy you mentioned the aggregate because that is something that we have to consider when it comes to the second leg of these knockouts. It's not just a match on its own like we would normally be betting. We have to consider what happened in the first match because that dictates what the ultimate results here are. And Dortmund did win this first match 3-2. And Sevilla not just has to win by a goal, but they would have to score at least 2 goals in the process, or 3 goals in the process to match what Dortmund did with the away goals tiebreaker, which is the tiebreaker. But I don't see that happening. We're taking Dortmund because ever since these two met in the Champions League match, Sevilla has completely cratered. The bottom has fallen out. They did pick up a win over a team called Osasuna, which is kind of like an average to below average team in the Spanish league. But other than that, they've lost 3 straight coming into this match. They haven't scored a single goal. The attack has completely disappeared. The defense has opened up, and they're facing a Dortmund team that did just lose to Bayern Munich in one of their big rivalry matches over the weekend, but is still a team that had been playing very well from that match on, and Bayern Munich's one of the best teams in the world, so it's hard to hold it against them for losing to Bayern Munich. I think Dortmund is going to finish the job that it started in the very first leg of this one. I think they're going to win this match outright. I love the value on them at plus 119.
You have to believe that there's got to be some doubt going on in the mind of the other side when they know going into a match that they've got to score so many goals. That's got to be daunting just emotionally to set yourself up for that. All right, game number 2 on Tuesday. Both of these are 3 Eastern kicks. Juventus, Porto. Now, in this one, Porto leads 2-1 on the aggregate. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, there was a huge moment very late in the first match between these two because Porto won the match, which was a big shocker, a big upset, and they had a 2-0 lead. But Juventus scored a goal late, which completely shifted the tone of things because now Juventus is at a situation where it's returning home for this game. It only needs to win 1-0 to survive and move on to the next round because they will have the tiebreaker of the away goal scored because they scored that goal against Portugal in the first game. So I look at this, I see Juventus entering the game knowing it only needs to win 1-0. And Porto entering the game knowing that, oh my God, if we even give up a goal here, we're probably screwed. So these are going to be 2 teams that are going to be taking a cautious approach. And Juventus kind of declared their intent earlier in the weekend when they had a pretty big match in Serie A against Lazio. They didn't play Cristiano Ronaldo because they didn't bring Ronaldo to Juventus to win Italian titles. They brought him to win Champions League titles. So they are clearly focused on this match and they're going to try to win. So I look at the total. I see it plus 100 on under 2.5, knowing that Juventus only needs to score once and then it'll be perfectly happy to park the bus. And I think there's a lot of value on the under in this matchup.
We always talk about educating and entertaining here on the show. You just gave several nuggets that the novice player or the novice soccer fan needs to understand. There's so many different teams that some of these players play on that you got to understand who's playing and when they're playing and why they are playing. All right, we'll get to the other 2 games in just a second, but first I got to tell you the Champions League, it is back. And if you're a soccer fan, you should be listening to Kay Galazzo, part of the CBS Sports Podcast Network. Join the team for 2 episodes a day, including daily previews and recaps of all the Champions League and Europa knockout stage action. You can find Que Golazo on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and wherever else you listen to this podcast. Don't wait to download or subscribe. You make Que Golazo today your ultimate audio destination for soccer and Champions League coverage. Okay, let's move to the Wednesday games now. PSG taking on Barcelona. Again, these are 3 Eastern kicks for both games. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, if you remember the first time these two played, we took PSG. They were the big underdog. But I told you, I said, Barcelona is a bum slayer. They have been beating up on bad teams all year long. And whenever they play anybody of any real quality, they lose. What happened? PSG, even without one of their best players in Neymar, went out there and completely blitzed Barcelona, beating them 4-1 in that first match, which is heavily influencing how I feel about this one, because I'm now going the other way. Barcelona is the underdog, and I'm taking Barcelona to win or draw, because PSG is going to come into this match with a certain mindset that says, hey, we've got a 4-1 lead. We don't really need – all we need to do is avoid complete and total disaster, and we're going to be fine. So PSG, Neymar is back in training this week. He might be able to play in this match. If he does, I don't expect him to start. I would think that he would come on later in the match if he's needed, and that could just not come in at all because, again, they might be in a cruising situation. So I think this is going to be a match where Barcelona, there's a very good chance where they are going to be able to at least pull out a tie or maybe win the match, and it still won't be enough for them to advance. So I see a ton of value on Barcelona to win or draw at -135. But by the way, don't be fooled by that number. They are the underdog.
Now, I want to ask you about that number, because this is our Chiefs dog of the day for this episode, but yet it's -135. Why is this our dog of the day bet?
Yeah, it's important to remember when it comes to soccer betting that you're kind of betting on 3 outcomes. There's there's both teams, and then there's the draw. But in this situation where we are betting on Barcelona to either win the match or draw the match, that kind of, influences the odds because it's a greater likelihood of happening. So if you were to bet on PSG for the same thing, it's about -500 right now. So we're into that weird situation where at -135, you're actually betting on the underdog here. And I'm sorry, Chiefs not here to lick my face as I'm giving the pick. I hope that still makes it officially the dog of the day.
It is. We've actually got the contract signed, so even if he's not on the show, we can still do the dog of the day every show. But he drove a hard bargain, and his price, it was very, very high. All right, our last game this week, Liverpool and RB Leipzig. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, I'm hoping to cash in on the panic here. Liverpool is favored in this matchup, but there's a lot more value on this line than there probably should be, because Liverpool has lost this weekend. They're coming in. They've lost, three of their last 4. They've lost 6 straight at home. But like the first match, this game is in Budapest because of COVID restrictions and travel restrictions. But if we go back to that first match, Liverpool came in having lost 3 straight. Leipzig came in having won 4 straight. Liverpool cruised to a pretty easy win in that first match. And now it's deja vu all over again, as Liverpool's coming in on a rough patch. Leipzig's coming in, winning 4 in a row. And people are kind of writing off Liverpool. And I think that we sometimes forget that just because a really good team is struggling in the Premier League is the best league in the world. Really good teams can struggle there and then go to the Champions League and face one of the top teams in Germany and still prove that, hey, we're better than you are. And I look at Liverpool, and yes, they've got a ton of injuries. They've got a ton of problems. They've still got a ton of talent on that team too, and I think they're more talented than Leipzig. So when I see this plus value at +135 on Liverpool, I cannot pass it up. I understand for a lot of you it might be scary, but I just think this is the right play to make.
Would you lower the bet size just a little bit if people are a little scared on this?
Always trust your own process, trust your gut. I'm going full unit on this myself. I feel good enough, comfortable enough with that. But if you're a little hesitant, I don't mind it at all.
I'm a unit on it too. You wrote on some of your basketball recaps that you blindly have a process. You know what my process is on soccer bets? Blindly follow Tom Fornelli. That's what I do. Okay, we are up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. It's time for the recap. Jeweler, thank you very much. Here's what it is. The 2 games on Tuesday. Dortmund +119. Juventus Porto on the under 2.5. That's coming in at +100. Then the Wednesday matchups. Barcelona to win or draw. That's our dog of the day. That's -135. And then Liverpool 135. I love these extra episodes. You're welcome. You got your marching orders. Let's take all 4 tickets, all 4, straight to that pay window. For Tom, take the big boys Fornelli. Our incredible producer, the jeweler. I am the coach. Turn on those notifications. The only place for your daily early edge. Good luck.